Get it right, get it right. Get it right, get it right. Get it right, get it right. What you gonna do, Gus?
Another one, another one, another one, another one.
Get it right, get it right.
We the best music. The legacy continues.
Welcome back to Real Talk Sports. As always, I'm your host, Valencia King, and thanks so much for tuning in on this edition as we talk about the Dallas Mavericks, unfortunately, falling to the Charlotte Hornets. Final score of 102-98. Now, with the last 15 seconds of the game, the Mavs had a chance to get the last shot, tie, or even take the win, but unfortunately, we had a turnover by our rookie, Dennis Smith Jr., and you'll hear head coach of the Dallas Mavericks, Rick Carlisle, talk about the last 90 seconds of the game and what he saw.
Well, we just looked at the last 90 seconds with the team. This break tomorrow, Monday, is our last two-day break of the season, so we're going to be off tomorrow. I want our guys to clear their heads and get rest. I wanted to look at the film of tonight's end of the game and just move on from there. So we looked at the last 90 seconds, made a couple of really good defensive plays. Nerlens just tip in was a great play. In that situation, he tried to stop and change and reject, and it just mishandled it a little bit. So we looked at it, and he could have been in a little bit better position to start it off. But the great thing about it is it's a situation he's going to be in many times in his career. And in a season like this, where wins have been hard to come by, and we're out of the playoffs, these experiences now are extremely valuable. So, everyone learns from, at the end of the game, we had some other mistakes and we had some other good plays. You got to reinforce the good and correct the stuff that needs correcting.
As you can see behind me for the Charlotte Hornets is Dwight Howard. He is currently signing some autographs and taking some pictures with some fans, so that's always a good thing. I got a chance to catch up with him after the game and talk about his journey in the NBA, what got him to this point as he is now a 14-year veteran in the NBA. 14 years in the league so far. How has the love and appreciation for basketball changed from your rookie season up until now?
I've always loved this game. This has always been my dream to play in the NBA. It's always a passion of mine. And despite, certain things that have happened, over the years, my love for the game has grown. And I'm just thankful for what this game has done for me. Being able to see the world, being able to stay in some really good hotels, things that as a kid you look at, you look on TV like, man, I wish one day I could be here. So to be here, I'm very thankful. Coming from where I come from, but I held on to my dream and I'm still living it. So I'm just blessed.
Coming from where you come from, throughout your journey in the NBA, no matter the team, you've always been involved in the communities. Why is that so important for you?
Well, I think it's always important to give. Give of yourself. It's not about money and just writing a check for people. But I know for myself growing up, when people spent time with me, just to talk to me and get to know who I am as a person, that meant more to me than them just coming and writing a check and saying here. But just that knowledge, that people was giving me growing up, I love giving that back. So anytime I do something in the community, it's not just to say, hey, I'm here, but it's like to really try to make an impact on whoever's there, and whether if it's a child, whether if it's a grown-up, whoever it may be, put a smile on their face, because you never know what people go through. And, it's an honor to be able to do that, so I take pride in it.
We're in the midst of March Madness. A lot of the college players have aspirations to get to where you are. What's one element you would say that got you to this point today?
Man, you got to be selfish with your dream. You got to really go for it. It's always going to be people to tell you that you can't make it. This world is filled with, negativity, and you got to find a way to stay positive and keep positivity around you, and only have people that want to lift you up, not people that's trying to pull you down. So it's always going to be that in this world, and it's something that we can't run from, but we can choose who we surround ourselves with. And I would just always tell the younger generation, surround yourself with people that's going to uplift you, people that's going to hold your name to a high standard, and they're going to make sure that whatever you do, that you do it to the best of your ability. And like I always tell people, if I'm going to eat, you're going to eat too. So it's always about uplifting each other.
Our rookie highlight for Real Talk Sports tonight was with Dwayne Bacon of the Charlotte Hornets. I got a chance to ask him how he's coming into his own during his rookie season, what advice he's gotten from the vets along the way, and of course, what's on his pregame playlist. Late in the game, just talk about how you're coming together in your rookie season.
Just doing what I got to do as far as the defense end. and making the plays I got to make on offense when the ball comes to me.
You got some veterans on the team. What have they been teaching you this season?
Just staying locked in and control what you can control. When it's your time will come. And I feel like right now, as I'm in a rotation, I'm doing everything I can, just to help the team out.
When you think about at the beginning of your rookie season, have you grown as a player in ways you may not have expected?
Oh, definitely. I just got better all around. Shooting, preparing for games, defense, offense, learning. The way I learn is totally different from when I came in because, I got it's a lot of older guys that, been here for a while, so I'm just learning from those guys.
You may not be ready to give advice necessarily, but when the college players are looking at you and want to get to your position, what's one element you would say that got you here today?
Just being humble and I kept working no matter what. You're always going to go through negatives. There's going to be some positives. There's going to be some people that don't like what you do, and there's going to be some people that love what you do, so you just got to keep working.
My show is Real Talk, so I always ask a fun Real Talk question. What is on your pregame playlist that is getting you ready for the game?
A lot of Drake.
A lot of Drake?
Yeah, a lot of Drake.
Well, oh yeah. The Hornets have a few rookies on their roster, but we saw two in action tonight in Malik Monk and Dwayne Bacon. I got a chance to talk to their head coach, Steve Clifford, about the production he's seen from those two throughout this NBA season.
Well, I think they both made good games, and they're playing a lot more now than they did. They both started the year in the rotation. Then, middle, when we were healthy, they didn't get as much time. They're going to play here these last few games, and I think they've both made great strides.
Although the Dallas Mavericks did not win, they did outscore the Hornets 23-28 in the final quarter of the game, but it was the bench production from the Hornets that really helped them get the win tonight.
Oh, no. Unselfish ball movement, finishing plays, and really solid defense. That was as good. We had gotten into a rhythm with Cody, MCW, Jeremy Lamb, Frank, Travion, where the second unit was playing really well. And that was this group here, that was their best stretch so far. No, Dwayne was playing so well that, we just left him in there and he played with the starters to finish the game.
No matter the record for the Dallas Mavericks, a win is a win and a loss is a loss. And in the post-game interview for DSJ, you could tell by his body language that tonight was a loss.
Coach, for the last 9 games, it's going to be all you. He's pairing you with Harrison Barnes, doing some different things. How are you going to finish this season? What's your focus these last 9 games?
Let's finish strong. Stay healthy, win as many games as possible, and compete every night.
The Dallas Mavericks will now go on the road, but they'll be back here in action on Friday, March 30th. So if you want to be here, make sure you're following me on all social media sites at I Am Valencia King. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Valencia King TV, and be sure to follow Slam Films, and you can win tickets to the next Dallas Maverick game. As always, I'm your host, Valencia King.
Another one, another one, another one, another one, another one, another one, another one.